Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Look, the last couple of weeks have not been a whole lot of fun for Tennessee fans, and some people out there like to make excuses. They like to say, oh, it's not as bad as it appears. Others say the sky is falling. The truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. But look, something I'm always going to do on this channel is shoot straight with you guys. I'm going to tell you my opinions. We can agree. We can disagree. Some people want sunshine and rainbows 24/7. That's not what we do around here. And look, there have been some red flags the last couple of weeks. You know, Tennessee went out and took care of business against Virginia. That's what they were supposed to do. But Virginia's not a very good football team. They lost the next week to James Madison. They got embarrassed this past week by Maryland, 42-14. That's what you're supposed to do against an inferior opponent. Then you follow that up with Austin Peay, right? Red flags. Tennessee didn't go out and dominate Austin Peay. Some people want to make excuses for that. They want to say, well, we overlooked them. We were looking ahead to Florida. Well, the playbook was vanilla. Tennessee made a lot of mistakes in that Austin Peay game, and it's stuff that you can clean up and you can fix moving forward. Then we go on the road down to the Swamp, and we see more of the same thing. It's undisciplined football. I talked about that yesterday. You know, missing 10-plus tackles in 2 of your first 3 games, the penalties, the offense being out of sync, whatever it is. I think this football team is lacking leadership. I think they're lacking leadership on the field. I'm talking players. I'm talking on the field of play, a vocal leader. You know, we've got a lot of seniority on this football team. Who's going to step up and lead? Who's going to get in your face and demand perfection? You know, some guys go about their business the right way. They do what they're supposed to. Maybe we need some of those guys to step up as vocal leaders. You know, I talked about the quote from Aaron Beasley yesterday, post-game press conference, asked if he was surprised with the undisciplined play. Some people say he was trapped. Oh, it's the reporter's fault. He was confused. He didn't understand the question. Aaron Beasley was asked if he was surprised based on what they did in fall camp that they played undisciplined football in the Swamp. He paused, he looked at the ground, he thought about it, and he answered as a man and said, no, he wasn't surprised. Well, maybe somebody like Aaron Beasley needs to take that leadership role on defense, and if somebody's not doing what they're supposed to, you get in their face, you get in their grill. I know a lot of people were upset with the way that Florida game ended. I kind of like the little piss and vinegar. I like the little fire in my football team. I like the quote from Brew McCoy. Brew McCoy's hurting after that loss, and he should be. This football team should be hurting. Josh Heupel's hurting. So they have one of 2 options. You can bounce back, you can respond, or you can quit. Which direction does this team choose to go? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up just below the video. That is quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time on the Talkin VAWLS Network YouTube channel, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be media. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. I'll actually be live later tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, playing NCAA football, but also talking all night long to you guys in the chat about this Tennessee football program. And look, I get it. It's a hard thing to hear. I don't like saying this. YouTube is way more fun when Tennessee is winning, when Tennessee is having success. Last year, most fun I've ever had on this channel, period, hands down. So much fun watching this football team go out and succeed. But there are a lot of red flags surrounding this Tennessee program right now. And again, I'm not saying they fold. I'm not saying they quit. I'm saying they have an opportunity to bounce back. We've been waiting for them to go out and dominate, go out and show us who you really are, right? We made excuses week by week. It was Virginia. You did what you were supposed to. Oh, it was Austin Peay. We overlooked him. Well, it's the Gators. It's on the road. It's in the Swamp. It's SEC play against your rival. Go handle your business. Tennessee did not. What do they do moving forward? They got UTSA coming up on Saturday. This thing, they need to go out and dominate. You can see there the ESPN FPI has Tennessee at 86.4% odds to win this football game. You roll down a little bit further, you can see over here on the left, Tennessee favored by 20.5 point favorites. You can see there UTSA likes to throw the football, but they are without their starting quarterback, Frank Harris. Right now he's listed as day-to-day, probably doubtful that he plays in this game. They average 220 yards per game through the air, 162 yards per game on the ground. Defensively, they give up 210 yards and 128 on the ground as well. They're not a very good football team. You can see there the results through this year. They lost a close one to Houston. They did beat a very, very, very bad Texas State team, and then they lost to Army last week 37-29. So this is the first step. I think Tennessee needs to come out and establish themselves. Be dominant, right? Do what you were supposed to do against Austin Peay. Look, Tennessee got whipped up front by the Florida Gators. Going back and rewatching that game, our offensive line got whipped. They got pushed around. Defensive line, same thing. Florida ran the football down Tennessee's throat. You can talk about, progress in the second half. Florida took their foot off the gas is what happened in that second half. I thought offensively, Tennessee, when they started taking shots, I thought they had success. I thought they struggled to run the football. And I get it. You're without Cooper Mace. He's the anchor of your offensive line. You're without Gerald Mincey. All the stuff that happened off the field with him. Does Gerald Mincey come back this week? Do we get Cooper Mace this week, or do you hold him out till the South Carolina game? Be physical, man. We talked about the missed tackles after the game. Horrible. Again, 2 out of the last 3 games. 2 of your first 3 games of 2023, you've missed 10 or more tackles. Guess what I would have been doing on Monday morning in practice? We would have been doing a whole lot of hitting all across the board. But that's because I want my offensive line, I want my defensive line to be more physical, and I want my football team to learn how to tackle. Let's stop the shoulder stuff. Let's stop bumping chest. Let's actually play physical football. It's a violent game. Are you scared of injury? Well, I'm scared of missing 10 tackles in another football game because that's going to cost you football games. So that's UTSA, your favorite to win. Go out and handle your business. Do what you're supposed to do. I don't want to see the miscues. Look, it's in Neyland Stadium, my home game. I don't want to see the false starts. That killed Tennessee in the Florida game. You were behind the sticks every single drive of the first half. You had the first drive where you scored a touchdown. You had the last drive that you didn't get behind the sticks, but 3 of those drives right there in the middle, you were behind the sticks every single time. So go handle your business against UTSA. South Carolina's coming up after that. Does anybody in that locker room, does anybody in this fan base, does anybody on that coaching staff need me to give you some type of motivational speech for the South Carolina game? Because I think everybody in that locker room knows what they cost you a year ago. They embarrassed you. You need motivation, or are you going to go out and play football? That's the test, right? The Florida game is in the past. I had it circled all offseason. I felt like that was the moment, that was the turning point, that we would see what this football team was made of. And they didn't play a very good football game. So like I said at the top of the videos, you got 2 options. You can bounce back, you can respond, or you can quit. They can cruise through the UTSA game. They can cruise through it. I don't want to see that. I want to see dominance. But then how do you respond against South Carolina? Because I think as you look at the schedule the rest of the way, you go out and handle your business against UTSA. You go out and handle your business against South Carolina. Tennessee can kind of create some momentum for the back half of this schedule. And if you do that, if you're able to do that, look, a lot of teams around the SEC are struggling right now. Alabama can't find a quarterback. Georgia struggled with South Carolina, so does that make that game on September the 30th? Does it make you a little bit more nervous about that South Carolina game? Because it does me. Right now, the way Tennessee's playing compared to the way South Carolina's playing, now you can go look at the ESPN FPI. They've still got Tennessee is favored to win by 66%, but I'm curious what that line looks like coming out from Vegas. That game has me a little bit more nervous, but again, I think you can kind of shift and adjust and make that your turning point for 2023. I think you go beat UTSA. You go beat South Carolina. You find a way to beat Texas A&M. You can create some momentum, and you can save this football season. But if you go out, if you come out of UTSA, and I'm sitting here on the postgame show, and we're having the same old conversations we've had the last 2 weeks after Austin Peay and then Florida. Well, why wasn't the offense in sync? Why was the play calling conservative? Why did we miss so many tackles? It's going to be a long year. It's going to be a long year of frustration. And this is not me being negative. This is not me being a negaval. This is me shooting straight what I see on the field and what my concerns are moving forward. You can sit there and say, oh, everything's fine. We're just fine. I mean, we overlooked Austin Peay. We got beat in the swamp. It's just one game. It's just one game. It's everything. It's everything. Are you concerned or are you not? Are you a sunshine pumper or a negaval? Or do you like to shoot straight and tell it like it is? You guys let me know in the comment section. As always, do me a favor and smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. If you don't like the video, you don't like the negativity, you can hit the thumbs down. That's fine too. It's okay. We can disagree and have civil conversations. It is okay. If somebody voices their opinion about Joe Milton and you don't like it, it's okay. That's what being a fan is. Stop eating your own. Stop arguing with each other, and let's be adults and let's have civil conversations about this football team that we eat, breathe, and sleep and think of every single day of the year. It's okay. Take a breath, and we'll talk some Tennessee football. But as always, go check out the merchandise as well, bonfire.com/store. YouTube.com/Talkin VAWLS. Got a couple of new designs in there. Also, guys, hit the thumbs up. It does help the channel. We would appreciate it. And thank you to the members of the channel. You guys make a little donation, whether that's $1 a month, $5, $10. Some of you guys give as much as $35 a month. I'm grateful for you. You are the reason that I get to come on here and talk Tennessee football every single day. You want to be a part of that? Hit that join button down below. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to the fan call-in shows. You get a Power T beside your name. I try to highlight your comments in the post-game shows and live chats when there's so many people watching. Try to give you a voice around here because that's what this channel is all about. But come hang out tonight. You didn't like what I said. You want to argue. You want to discuss. You want to debate. You want to get into it. Come join me tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be talking Tennessee football for a few hours. Always a good time. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.